Alright, so if you want to actually make a breeding farm where you can breed some eggs and stuff to just like fill your pal deck or whatever, you're going to need a few things. And the first thing you're going to need is some form of campfire or cooking pot. I like the cooking pot, but as you'll progress through the game, you'll get better versions. Then you're also going to need to build a breeding farm. Obviously, this is going to cost you wood, stone, and fiber. I would recommend getting a couple of ranches, and you'll see why in a moment. So definitely build a couple of ranches and a breeding farm as well. And you're also going to need an egg incubator, which I believe is unlocked at level 7. So you're going to need to make that with palladium fragments, cloth, stone, and ancient civilization parts. So once you've done all that, you need to come over to your cooking pot or campfire, and you can then find the recipe for cake. As you can see, you need some flour, red berries, milk, egg, and honey as well. Now we're going to tell you how to get all of these very easily. Now, flour, you're going to need a wheat farm. Wheat can just be found in the wild. And then you can kind of make your own little wheat farm in your base. Pretty simple. You get the wheat and then you just harvest it and your pals will do that for you. Once you have enough flour, you're going to need one of these devices here, which is the mill. You place your flour or your wheat in there and a water pal will come and water it and basically crush the wheat into flour for you. And that's how you're going to get the first ingredient for your cakes. Then, secondly, you're going to need red berries. These are just found in the wild all over the place. I don't think anyone has an issue finding red berries. Milk, on the other hand, can be a bit of a pain to find. The way I like to do this is by collecting mozzarinas and then placing them in the ranch, because as they're working, they will just produce milk for us. If we open up the Palpedia, you can see here, if you're trying to find mozzarinas, they spawn in the orange circle here just on the map. So go and find a couple of mozzarinas so you can actually produce more milk. You're going to need to do this for a breeding farm if you want to breed multiple pals, because it's just going to take too long for you to hunt for milk every time. Having a place to farm these materials is going to be the best way to do it. So go to this orange zone and get yourself some mozzarinas. Then next we need some eggs. Now eggs are pretty simple. Again, you can just hunt chickpeas. You can find eggs in the wild too. If you get chickpeas, you can then put them inside a ranch and they will just keep producing eggs for your pal base. It's just a really good way to do that. Then last but not least, you're going to need to get some honey. Now there's two ways of getting honey. The first way is by coming over here on the map, and you can hunt down these pals called cinnamoths. Now when you defeat cinnamoths, you can see their possible drops just under my camera is honey, lettuce seeds, wheat seeds, and onion seeds. The honey is pretty much a guaranteed drop most of the time for me, I've seen. So you can just hunt down cinnamoths to get yourself some honey. The best way, however, is to actually go and capture a bee guard, one of these. Now these will spawn all over the map. Up here, you can see on the map, if you can find yourself a bee guard, you are in luck, because you can then put the bee guard in the ranch just like the mozzarinas and the chickpeas, and they will produce honey just by working in the base. As you can see here, I have one. This produces all of the honey we need for basically breeding. The reason why you want to actually make a cake is so when you have your egg farm, like your breeding ranch here, you'll come up to this chest and you will then place an egg inside for the breeding farm. Once the cake is in there, you will then come up to this area here. You can see that you're going to need a male and female pal, so you do need one of each gender. You're going to probably want to look at a Palworld breeding calculator though, because you can get very specific pals if you put the right pals in. So it's not just RNG based, it does come up with like this pal will produce this one if you like breed it with another one. So make sure you're using some sort of breeding calculator to know what you actually want. You are going to need a male one and a female one and cake, and then that circular area will start to go up, and when that then completes, an egg will be right here. You then pick up the egg and you take it to one of your lovely egg incubators and you put it in, and then you can make it feel comfortable. If it needs a bit of cold, you can use cold stuff. If it needs a bit more heat, you can then put a campfire next to it. You will need to make it comfortable until you get the electric egg incubator later on, and so on when you level up. Anyway guys, that was a very quick guide to how to breed in Palworld. Remember, you need to make cake. You can go through the video again if you need to go out and get any ingredients for your cake and also a farm. You then will need to make a breeding farm and capture your two pals that you want to breed. You need a male and female one, and then you need egg incubators to actually hatch your eggs. Pretty simple, and I know you guys are going to have a great time breeding and collecting more pals in Palworld. So I hope this video did help you, and if it did, please click the like button and subscribe for more Palworld videos in the future.